Okay, so D7 means that how are you doing? So that is a plain data. So D7 is plain data. D7 is plain data. Sama dengan D7 is your plain data. Yeah. Okay. And D6, so that is your application layer. Okay. So D6 will be your presentation layer in which all the formatting is inserted. Okay. Anybody can give me an example of a formatting? Anybody wants to try? So formatting meaning bold, italic, font size, and font type. Okay. So that is the presentation layer. So basically for presentation layer, it involves some software, some application software. Okay, such as what is your application layer? Software application layer such as MS Word. What else? I don't know. Okay. So that is what it means by presentation layer. Okay. So and then the data will go through D5. So as the data go through layer 6, layer 5, layer 4, layer 3, layer 2, and layer 1, some header, all of the data will be insert with header. Yeah, header 7. So H stands for header 7, H6 for header 6, H5, H4, H3, H2, and H1. So this header will depend on the layer in which it is being attached to. Yeah, so we are going to look further down. Yeah, so this is just what some of the example as we go through from layer 7 until layer 1. So as we go through layer 1, so the data now has been processed into bits. So this is the bits 010101 before it is being transmitted into our transmission medium. Yeah. All right. So let us go through one by one. Yeah. So one by one. So I will just go through some of the highlight. Yeah. So the highlight of the OSI physical OSI model. Yeah. Okay. So for the first one, we call it physical layer. As its name implies, it involves with the physical of our transmission. Yeah. So what is the function of the physical layer? So coordinate the functions required to create bit link, a physical connection between sender and receiver. It is concerned with representation of bits, data rate, bit synchronization, characteristic of interface, transmission medium, and transmission mode. Alright. So for physical layer, it involves with physical devices. Yeah. So layer 1 Layer 1 or layer 7, this one? Layer 1. Layer 1, yeah? Layer 1. Layer 1 is physical layer, physical devices. Yeah? So it is much more towards electronic signals sent to send and received from PC, switch, router, yes, from PC, switches, routers, PC, switcher, routers, or server. Let's see my server. Just put. Yeah. Right. So these are the model for physical layer number 1. Yeah. So all of these functions are concerned with physical devices such as PC, switches, router, and server. All right. And then sebagai, so why is it concerned with representation of bits? It is 0 and 1, isn't it? What is the meaning of representation of bits? Data rate, bit synchronization. So what does it mean by representation of bits? So representation of bits, for example, of bits, yeah, is the coding. Coding for 0 and 1. Yeah. So we have the standard one. We have some standard ASCII, SCII, O, and C code. Yeah. So ANSI has different code. ASCII has different codes. Yeah. For example, if you have A and ANSI, ANSI code for A, for ANSI code for code A is equals to for A is C that ASCII code ASCII code A is equals to let me look. Yeah. So you can go to the internet and then equals to 65 in 60. Let me look. 65 in binary code. Yeah. C It's not, sorry, it is not ANSI. It is, the ASCII code is correct. Okay, 0101 ANSI versus ASCII. Okay, okay. Okay, so for ANSI code, we have for ASCII code we have 01011010. No, but it's not mandatory. It is just example. Yeah, it is just example. Yeah, example of a representation of bits. Yeah. So for ANSI code, the code for A is 0101. It's lost already. So the ASCII code is 0101, and then okay. For ASCII code, yeah, I'm just giving you example. Yeah. For layer 1, representation of bits. Yeah. So for ASCII code, we have 01010001, and then for ASCII code, we have 10001. So the difference is that for ASCII code, it uses 8 bits. For ASCII code, it uses 7 bits. For yeah, big A. Yeah. So physical layer 1 has to be able to manage. When it receives a bit, for example, it must know it is ASCII code or ANSI code. Yeah, so that is it. What about the data rate? So physical layer is also responsible for data rate because we have different transmission rate. Yeah. So for example, if we have some of you are using wireless, for example, so the data rate is different if you are using copper wire. The data rate is different if you are using fiber optics, for example. Even if you are using the same data, the data rate is different. So as a result of that, some of the data can go, you can read beyond what is the necessary data. Yeah. Similarly, bit synchronization. So for example, let's have a look at this data, 1100110. Yeah. Just we take the 7 bits. Yeah. So if the data rate is very fast, so for example, let me have the same data 1101010. Yeah. For example, the data. So let's say that we have a different data rate. So how the data will be? How the data will be read by the different. So let's say that we have the first data rate. Let's say that we have a first data rate 2 bits per second. Second data rate 5 bits per second. Okay. So the data will be read differently. So for the first one, 2 bits per second. So the first data will be 2 bits per second. 11 11 01 11 01 01 1101 01 0. So that is how the data looks like at the first data rate. The second data rate 5 bits per second. So the reading will be different. 110 1 0 1 2 4 5 0 1 0. So these are two examples in which we have different data rates. So the first one 1 1 1, and then we have 0 1 0 1 0. So that is the first data rate. So that is the data is different from the second data rate. Yeah, so that is why we have to be concerned about different data rate. So so layer 1, physical layer 1 is responsible to make sure that so the data rate is being organized, or being properly balanced. Yeah. So otherwise the data will be different. Yeah. So these are two examples in which. So I have shown to you two examples why we are concerned with representation of bits and also data rates. Yeah. So the rest, this is basically is just a few more details. Yeah. So the second one is what we call as our data link. So give me another 5 minutes. Yeah. So the second one is data link, responsible for hop to hop delivery. Combines the bit into manageable units called frames and deliver the frames to the next hop. In some protocol, it also transforms the physical layer transmission facility into a reliable link. It makes physical layer appear error-free to the upper layer. And some protocol divide the data link into sub-layer, LLC, and MAC layer. So what is data link layer? As it name supply, data link. So what data link means? Linking of the data. Yeah. So from either layer 1 or layer number 3. Sorry. If the data is being received from physical layer, I give you one example. For example, let's say that we have a very simple data 1, 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah. Let's say that the data means hello. Yeah. Let's say that this is just an example. Data 2, we have 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 1. Yeah. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Let's say that the second data means hello. Yeah. And this data 1 plus data 2 must be sent to switch number 1. Yeah, must be sent through switch number 1. So it is the responsible for data link layer to send both data to switch number 1. Yeah, so that's what we call as responsible for hop to hop delivery. So hop to hop meaning that from one device to another device. Combines the bit into manageable units called frame and deliver the frame to the next hop. So basically, these two data 1, data 2 is being combined so probably we have different data from the same computer, yeah, but it will be sent to different switch. So it is responsible of data link 1, data link to send the data appropriately. Yeah. In some protocols, it also transform the physical layer into a reliable link. It makes physical layer appear to be error-free. So pastikan, make sure that it is error-free. Okay. and it has two sub-layer. We call it MAC layer and logical layer. So basically, as its name implies, you can just remember data link layer, meaning that it is responsible for linking the data. Because for physical layer, we have so many data for the same computer, probably using different protocol. Yeah. For example, if you are using, for example, this the same computer, you are using, for example, for WhatsApp, you are using for WebEx, you are using for Google Chrome. Yeah. So we have three different applications running on the same PC, but all of these three applications has different representation of bits, probably the same data rate, but the representation of bits is different. So data link layer is responsible to make sure that these three this data from these three applications did not combine. Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah. And then we have the MAC layer and LCC layer. So what is the responsible for MAC layer? So MAC layer is let me see what is MAC layer. Yeah. So this is example, another example from data link layer. So from network layer, we have this data. To physical layer, it will add some header and some trailer. To network layer, it will release the header, but and also the trailer. H2 stands for header, T2 stands for trailer. So the data link layer is responsible for moving frames from one hop or node or device to the next. So that is the meaning of data link layer. So this is some of the example of the data link layer. Yeah. So it only concern with linking. So that's what we call data link. So we are linking the data from this system to another system. This is our PC. This is our router. This PC has different OS. The router has different OS. This PC has different data representation. The router has data representation. So that's why we require a protocol in which these two try to communicate with each other. That's what we call it as a data link layer, or sometimes we call it as a middleman. Yeah. So I give you another example. So this person is speaking in English. Computer A is only understand English. Computer B only understand Bahasa Malaysia. So how does these two need to speak to each other? That's why we need a translator. So data link layer is just like a translator. Yeah. So data link layer is just a translator. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let us take a break, and then take a break, 5 minutes, and then we take the quiz. Yeah. Go to you learn quiz break. QUIS quiz. Go to you learn. Okay, dah ada orang. Yes, after quiz we come back, yeah. Okay, they are already, some of you have already answered. Okay, very good. You learn bahagian mana? So, bahagian assessment, ya. You masuk bahagian assessment. You learn bahagian assessment, ya. Week 1 identification of problem ni minggu lepas punya, ya. Nur Afika. Itu minggu lepas punya. Minggu ni punya adalah pada assessment. Pada assessment, dia ada tulis itu, ya. So this quiz I will close at the end of the session, ya. As I said earlier, so assessment ni, quiz ni adalah untuk tujuan utama dia adalah attendance, ya. Dan kita akan negotiate dari segi markah dia kemudian lah, ya. Kemudian, ya. Senang kan dia punya soalan kan?
Sir,
Ya, ya.
soalan 2 tu dia minta apa?
Soalan 2, dia suruh explain kan? Explain. Siap. Saya pun tengok balik soalan ni. Mana soalan dia? Soalan pun tak jumpa, tak nampak. Okay, so a computer network is a collection of transmission network and facility, terminal equipment, and protocol that provide communication that is reliable, fair, and efficient. So you can explain lah. Apa maksud reliable, apa maksud fair, apa maksud efficient. A computer network is a collection of transmission network and facilities, terminal equipment, and protocol that provide communication that is reliable, fair, and efficient. So you cuba explain what does it mean by reliable, fair, and efficient. Boleh?
Okay, sir.
Okay ke? Ahmad Syukri, clear ke? Alright. Ngantuk lah. Apa ni? Ya, sekarang ni dah 12 orang dah baru. Saudara saya tunggulah. Slowly. Yeah. Okay, so most of you have finished the quiz. Let us continue more a little bit more. Yeah. So I will go. I will go a little bit faster now. On the OSI model to highlight some of the important features, protocols, and also devices related to each of the layers. Yeah. So we now look into if we go back into layer number 1, the physical layer. Yeah. So the data format. Let's just look at layer 1. So this is layer 1. So layer 1 is concerned about representation of bits, as I said earlier. the ASCII and the ASCII code, and I give you an example of data rate, the different data rate. So that is the responsible for physical layer. So the rest of the layer is responsible for it. For data link layer, we begin to communicate. We are communicating with it with two type of devices. So now probably one device is talking another language, another device is talking another language. So OSR model, data link layer, is responsible to be a translator between these two devices. And then it has it has two sub layer, which is MAC layer and LCC layer. So MAC layer is responsible for addressing, framing, addressing, and medium access control. And LCC layer is responsible for flow control and error control. So let me just give you an idea what does the MAC layer is responsible for. So for layer 1 and layer 2, it has so for networking to be successful, it must have some kind of identification from where the device comes from, and from where the data comes from, and then what is the destination. So MAC layer is responsible for the addressing of the network card in which the data flow. So each of the device, each of the communicating device, we has a network card. So that MAC layer is responsible. Is responsible to have a MAC layer number. So if you each and every device in the world has their own MAC address. So data link without the MAC addressing, you cannot go into the into networking. And then we have MAC layer is also responsible for framing. So framing means that almost the complete set of data, and also the all the formatting, and also all the information regarding where does it come from and where is the destination is completed. So meaning that is that's what the meaning of framing. And then medium access control. Access meaning that how do we want to get to the device. For example, if we want to communicate your computer with an access point, for example, so data link layer is responsible to make sure that your computer is able to communicate with the access point. So that is the meaning of a medium access control. So if we do not want the computer to communicate with an access point, so it is also the responsible of data link layer, sub layer MAC layer. So we can block people from accessing our access point using MAC layer. Flow control and flow control, how fast flow control meaning how fast the data is sent or received. So data link layer is responsible to control how fast the data going or incoming. So it is like a pipe, water pipe. And then we have the error control. So meaning that make sure that the framing has the right we call it trailer and header. So it is the responsible of data link layer to make sure that the header and trailer is correct. So header usually header usually is the, so you, as you can see from this graphic, so D2 has the complete framing. So this is the complete data. Yeah. So header usually trailer is usually the checksum. So meaning that the checksum is make sure that every bit in D2 is correct. Yeah. And header usually is the protocol, whether it is UDP or TCP. Yeah. So that is detail. I do not want to go into detail. Yeah? Okay. And the next one, one of the most important is the network model. Yeah. So after this, we are going to end our session. Yeah. So the network layer is responsible to source to destination end-to-end delivery of packet, possibly cross multiple network. Yeah. So what does it mean by that? So let us look at this graphic. Yeah. So so this is where our system originate. So this your data must be sent through multiple hops before it goes to computer D, for example. Yeah. So data link is responsible to make sure that this device can talk to this device. A and B can talk. That's why we call it link. This is interpreter. Network layer is responsible to make sure that your data is correctly sent to the next node, B node. For example, if you want to go from A to D, for example, it must go through A, B, C, D. Yeah. So if you want to send the data to D, so it cannot hop from A, B, E, for example, in this case. Yeah. So network layer is responsible to make sure that A is being sent to D through B and C. Yeah, so that is the responsible for network layer. So how does network layer make sure that data from computer A is sent directly to computer D via node B and C. Okay, so this is the responsibility of network layer. So network layer does not concern about what is in the packet anymore. So it only concerned about the address. Yeah, so that is responsible for computer network layer. Yeah. So how does it do this? How does layer 3 do his job? Okay, so we call it network addressing. Yeah. Okay, so I believe that during the data communication, you have heard about the addressing scheme. IP, V for addressing, SCHE. Yeah. Yeah. So network layer. How does the packet is being sent from computer A to D? It must use layer 3 network layer and it must use IPv4 or IPv6 kali ni. IPv6 addressing scheme. Yeah. Okay. Anybody remember what is IPv4 and IPv6 is all about? Anybody? Okay. All right. So very good. So during the lab session for tomorrow, we are going to look into detail of IPv4. It is just a review, I believe. Yeah. So probably it's just a review of IPv4 addressing. Yeah. I hope that you go back. Okay. So if just go through back your IPv4 addressing scheme. Yeah. We have address level A, B, C, and D. Yeah. All right. So with that, I end my session for today. All right. So I would like you to go through the rest of the slide. We have 7 of them. So as I said earlier, I do not expect you to remember all, but some of the highlights of each of the layer should be of your concern. Yeah. Slide ni nanti saya masukkan dalam tu. Saya tak masukkan, kejap lagi saya masuk. Yeah. So basically, what is the highlight? So meaning that what does it mean by highlight? HIGH, highlights of the layer. So pertamanya, each layer has its own protocol. Apakah protokol what is the protocol related to each layer? Devices of each layer, yeah, and some basic functions. So these are the three things I expect from all of you for layer 1 till layer 7. Yeah. So we are going to go a little more detail. So for example, I give you example network layer number 3 kan. So what is the protocol related to network layer? Anybody want to try? Let me put it another way. For layer 3, for network layer, what is the basic protocol operating in layer 3? Jawapan dia ada kat atas tadi. Kan? Salah? No TCP/IP. Jawapan dia ada kat atas tadi. IPv4, yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So itu nombor 1. Nombor 2, what is the devices related to network layer? Device. Itu internet untuk semua, ya. Internet untuk semua. Router, yeah, router. Yeah. No, router. Switch, adalah switch layer 3 ke? Boleh jugalah. Yeah. And then the next one is, what is the function? Basic function. Routing. Yeah. So basically routing and addressing. Yeah. Alright. So that's how what it mean by So connecting device is layer 2. Yeah, Mr. Hassan, connecting device is layer 2, data link layer. But for network layer is for routing and addressing. Yeah, so that is the difference. Okay, so that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will end the session. Also the quiz. Yeah, so I will end the quiz session for today. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be having an answer. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. See you then.
Thank you, sir.